The music is kind of rocking out. Oh no, I started again. I didn't test out how much my voice is working. I mean, I mean, it's been like a week of almost of kind of being sick. So I should be done. I should be pretty much finishing it up. Right, let's scoot all of these in the right place. Hey. There's Kai, the lead with the first comment in stream. So amazing digital circus thoughts happening. So what's happening? I feel very silly for having tried to I don't know, do a reaction to that last episode while eating, because apparently that's too many things at once. I finally discovered what's too many things at once. There's Guy winning. There's Ashila saying, "Glad you're mostly done with the sickness." I mean, fingers crossed. It starts stacking slightly, I want to say. Thanks. Hey, good to see you though. Art fight is on the mind partially because I don't understand character design or my own art style yet. I haven't done this. I just keep thinking that if I just buckle down and draw for 12 hours, then I'm gonna understand at the end of it. Hello to Kraken 2 Productions and Some Death Jr. There's, oh my, deep thoughts indeed. There's, not to add on to your smiley face, oh, too terribly much. Wow, I was using a big brush around here for one reason or another. Hello to Gatman101 saying, what the Sigma? I was just thinking of, I promise it was for good reasons, but about like just really punting a little Gen Alpha kid. I was just thinking about it was for great reasons which I am failing to explain about myself, but just like the football, you know? I think I could get some real air on that kid. So, there's asking where you shitting on the you know what? You didn't exactly ask, but I'm seeing a question mark, and I'm seeing a question. I think there's a thing, and I heard about it from like Korea. Okay, and they probably therefore used different words that were Korean words. I think there's a thing called period shits, where you're on your period and then it confuses your guts, and then it's like worse or something. I think when I told that to my mom, she was like, I've never heard of this, and I've been doing this for longer than you, and maybe you're dumb. And I'm like, it just happened to me, and I didn't survive. I'm a remnant of what I thought I was gonna be, and then it was real. There's loving the suit jacket. Thank you for quickly changing the topic, because I cannot stay on this topic for too long. I'm gonna gross myself out. There's thinking of the art fight. They announced the theme, right? I did not look at the theme. There's I never heard the term, but I think I've experienced it. It's like confusing and worse, because multiple things happen in the guts. Okay, what goes on here? Hello to Nico Shushu. There's my condolences to the viewers. No problem. We've got topics to spare. I'm putting big brains on this deep thoughts sort of thing. There's I shall watch thy stream while rocking and stoning. So like, this could be a lot of things. This could be you're climbing up a cliff face. There's Grubson saying, as a man, I'd say that's true, and I've experienced it. I could read this in the cis way or the trans way. I could, like, the cis way would be like you've something else happened to your guts at the same time that you would not expect. Like, maybe if you've gotten a hearty punch, or maybe an appendectomy, and then this would also be on the same. I almost changed the topic so smooth. Thank you for suit jacket compliment. Okay. I think. Did I switch to white color very quickly? Or did I not mean to do that? Interesting. Why do I function this way? And by function this way, I mean totally not function. It's saying, for me the worst part is my cramps just feel like my anxiety stomach aches. A total mixed signals deal going on in there. Yeah, yeah. At some point, I would think that I would cease to be surprised at what can happen, and yet it keeps happening, and I keep being surprised. Well, there you go. All right, here we go with brain rankles. We want the rankliest brain to have very deep thoughts with. For some reason, this makes me think of Fantastic Four, but I don't think they have a villain or a hero that goes like this. Alright, one big shiny brain thinking your thoughts. There's guy saying, "Stream my idol," and golden and how it's done, and I love animation that has music and fighting and tears with the K-pop demon hunters is what I'm picking up on. Maybe I only recognize one of the song titles for golden, but it makes me wonder. I'm seriously wondering if Sony or whoever owns the rights to K-pop Demon Hunters. I really do wonder if they're going to like make those actual groups, cause like one of them dies in the movie. Your little lion boys, your little lion men, such boys, and okay, adjust this over, and I mean, okay, just because they die doesn't mean they're dead, right? They're oh, you don't like my deep thoughts. You don't think they're very healthy. I'm going to be personifying a starling. I think is one of my character design ideas. I'm thinking more inspiration from nature. There's guy saying, "Is you're a K-pop fighting demons," and also combat and dance choreography, and then the hero's journey and the epicness going along with this. I feel like I've been saying for ages that whenever, no shade to Taylor Swift fans, whenever Taylor Swift says something, I want her to not say it and also shut up. And I just think that a breakup just for me can only be interesting so many times in a row, and the experiences of being rich and famous in a song. And so I've just been saying that perhaps you should kill people. Therefore, it's my take, if I may. Please don't publish information about me. Oh, I'm saying this small enough. I just think killing people is the solution here. I will say, is it really a hater arc if I think all of this could be solved if she killed somebody and then made it in the narrative arc, because I just want more intrigue, more drama, more of everything. Maybe it's the adrenaline junkie talking, and I just love constructing a sentence in a way that could be so easily refuted. I love having an opinion that's so ridiculous that it loops back around from the point of offensibility into sensibility. I just love that. So there's guys saying it needs to be a series or I need a Torno in between. Ooh, you think they'd Miku it up? You think they'd fully animated holograms like around if it were holograms, then maybe they could actually drop them in from the top of a stadium. I think people would love that. I think if Sony, I'm assuming Sony owns the rights. If they decide to do like a concert for that, okay. I opened up my phone to look up what is the art fight theme this year. God, please, okay, please, art fight theme, please. Okay, and okay. It picked up the please, and now it wants me to donate to art fight. That's probably a good thing too. Okay. Where was my train of thought? I've completely lost it. Okay. All in all, killing people is the answer. I'm drawing a little starling, please, somewhere in here. And And this bird is cool because it has like yellow eyes and then like a yellow chest and then like everything. You're viewing my extremely healthy brains, and then and then and then every band in the future will have the ability and perhaps license to also kill people. This could be a dystopian story for a moment there. This could be, I just feel like I understand narrative intrigue, and the hell was I going to draw? Okay, 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 okay. Please? Oh, well that's actually kind of funny. I look up what the art fight theme is for 2025. Somebody on the front goddamn page of Google wrote pop music, and I was like, is everything related? If I look up things that are unrelated to the tangent I was just talking about, do they turn out to be related in the end? No, it's fossils versus crystals. That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. They gave fossils a very appealing sort of thing, more appealing than I would think. There's somebody saying, why art fight and not art love? That's the thing about it, you dubious aesthetic. There is art love in the art fight, the art concept of the art love. Hello to July, hello. You're saying I should probably send some more of my recent art in the Discord. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing all right. What's new? What's happening? It's actually hilarious. A full year after if I'm remembering correctly, a full year after you recommended getting into Sabrina Carpenter, I started getting more songs stuck in my head, as if it like took that long to load in. So it's like that's like completely asynchronous. I don't even know if that's like in your head anymore. There's guys saying also it's hot as Satan's balls outside. I fought with 2 bugs in my domain already. I love the phrasing of that. You fought with 2 bugs in your domain, you say. Let's talk of Sabrina Love. It's everything about that makes me crack up. Oh my gosh. Is this like am I seeing personified, perhaps furrified syringe going on here? It instantly adds a little design motif. You got lines going up the oh my gosh. It felt like you had, I don't know, hexed my bloodline in a good way when I just started getting those songs stuck in my head gradually more often until you make like little tiny playlists. I don't know. It's still like I still feel like it's surface level fandom where it's like, okay, so you've heard the greatest hits or something, but the likability may be undeniable. There's talk of a needle guy. He belongs to Kamasaurus on Toy House. Ooh, you had so much fun. Oh my gosh. I do love the design over here. Wow. Mixed up the character description and the name of the individual and somehow read Twinkosaurus in there. And what do I look at? What do I gaze upon? Something has a little bit of rainbows on the paw print. This is the cutest, and I feel like hands versus paws like shows a delineation between amount of furry that you can go through. What is happening here? Okay, you get the black and red colors. You get am I detecting a little bit of a scorpion kind of a vibe? There's. You're saying the art style is like a drug to my eye. Very well done, very colorful, very soft. It's like the little every time you do like eyes in the very cutesy style in particular. Could I please scroll back? in the very cutesy style in particular, it reminds me of like this little blanket that I had as a baby, not to have like Remy Ratatouille moments, but like there was some kind of little angel up in there. This is very cool. This is very cool going on here. Shall it, I don't know, be very powerful? That's what I associate with, I don't know, the red and the black colors. Something powerful shall happen. And yet, here's this crystalline background. Quite fun. And there's, ooh, I there's either fluffy hair. Can it please zoom in a proper way? There's either fluffy hair going on here or no eye on the face, some interesting character design going on here, a very pearlescent sort of thing. Yeah, how you feeling? It honestly, in terms of a how we doing kind of thing, how do I put word to describing mild state of crisis? My friend over there is celebrating return of BTS. Oh my gosh, love her to pieces. Alright, so the hell was I thinking about? Character design. I feel like I don't understand character design. I keep trying to have an art style, and I feel like I don't. I don't know. It's tough to describe one's life only in terms of the work in progress sort of parts. Went on vacation. Went on a roller coaster. That's what's new. I talked to strangers a lot on the vacation. At least a lot for me. A lot for me because I don't go out in the public. There's so you're trying to eat the art style, very marshmallow-y. There's saying I did a bunch of art growth and focus on bettering myself for a bit, and also buying a bunch of little treats. And by little treats, I mean a bunch of cute characters. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That sounds quite fun indeed. There's kind of the BTS being packed. It's so funny to me to think of the they just literally went away from military service. It still cracks me up. There's talking about we're behind the scenes gone. I mean, bloopers kind of went away. And there's Nikoju saying it's funny to have, listen, and hear talk about a blanket randomly. Honestly, that's what it feels like to say it all. Also, guys saying, also, yes, I've been spending more money. I've fallen down the hole of self-shipping. I've gotten another commission back, and you'll be posting it in the Discord. Okay, there you go. It sounds like fun things are happening. Enriching things are happening. I wanted to show, since we show the arts, I wanted to, I don't know, share to our returned buddy July over here. Oh my god, how far does my camera go? This one, okay, so I have a different camera, and this one is on a cord. There's plenty of cable for this. Did I disconnect it? Honestly? Yeah, probably. Okay, well that's hilarious. That's honestly okay. Please, okay, I guess I'm just breaking things. So, perfect. I guess I'm just gonna listen or read to what you are saying. You're asking if self-shipping is legal. I'm just straight up fixing this. Okay, the screen is working. I've unplugged this, and I'm looking for properties. Please. If you like, okay. Self-shipping is very legal. Okay. That's an awesome thing to go onto the face of my skin with. Okay. Hi again. I just tried to like move this camera a little bit to the side. Big change from okay, see my entire eyeball. Big change from previous camera where it was on a phone. Okay, so it's like aiming this way. Mm, 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 mm. Literally I completely destroyed all of this just to try to show some arts that what you don't even want to focus on me. You don't even want to focus on. Come on, come on, come on. I should learn how this operates at some point. In any case, I've been drawing on a bazillion sticky notes, and I do not believe I have found an art style yet. I don't think that's and I'm thinking the next step in finding an art style is probably to lie, cheat, and steal. This is some big type of language. This is some ginormous freaking language to put upon something such as finding an art style, but but it feels accurate and fine to what I am doing. There's Nico's saying I shall never focus, you will be blurred forever. You are always putting hexes on me. Okay. That was that was more dramatic than it had to be. I'm gonna try out the little Sonic art style. Just sort of an overview of what it is fun to have art scattered around the room in one color, I will say. Art scattered around the room here. You're putting hexes on people in a silly and fun sort of way. And I may be mildly vaccinated against hexes, but I may still be somewhat allergic. I take the break to blow my nose. Here. Down with the sickness. Back up with the sickness. A little candy on my table. Okay. This has been some mildly interesting updates. I hope that I start feeling like well enough again to play like Date Everything and Deltarune this week, because I don't know, I wanted to play it over the weekend and I was like, this is terrible. Bodily terrible things seem to be happening to me, and wanted to be more well for it. And so I think I shall be all well. It is a little bit funny seeing only spoilers for Date Everything, but also there's so many routes that it feels like I can't possibly see everything. Okay, Kai, you started to play Date Everything. Like, have you already like gotten to an ending or something, or like how much of it is there? You continued spending money. Twinsies though. I ordered yellow pants online. Money spending twins. When capital exists, I guess. And so I guess in addition to dating everything, I will live my yellow pants dreams. That's literally asking, can you drink a glass of water? Can you date a glass of water? Sorry. I guess I'm thirsty posting from right here in my house. You're saying, because I'm self-shipping myself with one. I'm kissing it so hard. And you're screaming into the chat, naked grandma suddenly. I have said sometimes that the topic of the stream can be anything. Did I just see Shy Guy walk past my... No, that's a child. But why the fully white face mask and hood? I was saying something else. You said naked grandma. Yeah, that's probably in date everything. They have some old people for you to date. Um, and by old people, I mean objects because it is a game where you personify all the objects. I move this into the right place. Where am I sideways? Interesting. There's Kai saying, Dirk, my dirty laundry, and Betty, my bed, are my favorite so far. Nice to get the dishes is trying to win me over. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I'm, I'm just fascinated by the concepts going on. I hear that they got some, I don't know, deep storyline. If you look for it, that's exciting. I wonder, okay, it's been out for like a week, 2 weeks, and I'm wondering if if there's already people who are experts on it. I'm seeing spoilers for the root of the door because this thing predictably trend on Tumblr, gay website. For a moment there, I have had a little bit of candies on my table for like a week, and this kind is like this is tough, and it is dark chocolate, and it is crunchy. It's like a nonpareils or something. I totally meant to save these things, but I am quickly running out of them due to being a snacker. Yes. We get a full explanation of the game. Okay, you. Huh. That feels louder than usual. So, your money has been used for commissions and games. And you're asking, what am I eating wood? That's the full experience of the chocolate nonpareils thing. And I don't know, other people who try this, okay, it's supposed to be like a decoration you put on top of things. It's very crunchy, as you may have been able to tell. I just think it's so tasty. It's supposed to decorate other things, and so when my brother tried this, he was like, that is nasty. You are crazy, and that is nasty. What are you doing? However, it brings me life, honestly. I love a creative way to do dark chocolate. Well, there you go. Oh my gosh. Oh my. How very fun. Okay, so Peter MJ reference for the first one, and the second drawing was a sketch the same person did as a surprise. Spending money on me. Okay, wow. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's high quality. Incredibly high quality. Holy, oh my god. The artist about which I want to learn. There's so the question when you're eating decorative chocolate. I learned that decorative foods are not for consuming when I tried to eat a decorative apple. That doesn't make any sense. I'm reading what you're saying, and it doesn't make any sense to me. And it's making me think, this is so cute. This is so cute. I'm about to. I'm truly dying. I'm truly dying of cuteness. Oh my god. Whoa. Full on. Have a stroke. Go to heaven, pass away. That's literally, this is so cute. I love how I have to follow this artist immediately. So, I think that you, YouTube users, as you're saying this to me, I think that you cannot eat fruits and vegetables, perhaps, is what I'm hearing here. It's kind of what I'm hearing here. Okay, okay, so this only lets you choose from this many sorts of backgrounds, but for some reason I'm perhaps being psychically influenced. Let's put some interesting and green colors. I hope I'm not making decisions that are inevitably eye strain. Who doesn't love a very pleasant green? Wow, there was in fact still a little bit of white there. Okay, you ate a decorative styrofoam apple, okay. But was there any liquid present in this styrofoam apple whatsoever? Because sometimes when I've bitten into an apple, I've been like, whoa, this is like a naturally occurring foam if you look at it. This is like a naturally occurring styrofoam. But it grew. And so I don't quite know. I'm still not convinced that you didn't eat an apple and were so baffled by the apple, eating it for the first time, fruiting, vegetabling yourself, that you concluded that all things are not suitable for eating. Some things are suitable for eating. I'm very suited for this right now. I might eat another, straight up. On God, I might eat another right now, and me when I'm the snacker. So, there's asking the prices of the commissions. I mean, I honestly, I feel like there's very few prices that one could name where I would be like, that wasn't worth it. Like this one could go pretty high and I would still be like, yeah, I understand that one's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. All right, where the hell are my stylus? I'm locking in, probably, maybe a little bit. Okay, I'm going to understand character design. It's been a half an hour. Have I had the deep thoughts yet? Every day I ask myself this. This guy saying I played less than $70. None of the commissions I get hit $100, which is insane to me. Some people do like have the commission sheets like right up and be like, here we go. I'm the professional artist and it's going to be $100 and $120 for more of the body and then more of the body, and then I've seen that with artists who work with furry specifically. That's where I'm thinking of that commission sheet information. Alright, the hell was I looking at? I still have the page for Art Fight open. Fossils versus crystals, not to unfocus this camera again, but that looks like quite the fun theme. Maybe I just like the warm colors. For some reason, like looking at this year's Art Fight teams, I feel like maybe crystals could win, but I feel like fossils is really appealing to me. So July, huh? July, drawing other people's characters. People sometimes join this with commissioned ref sheets. And this guy saying furry artists do get paid. Gotta make money for them fursuits. Incredible. And okay, the hell was I looking at? In my head, I had something on my mind, a starling. Because okay, not only do I have a starling on my mind, I have the desire to learn other art styles. If I look up Spider-Verse, but then specifically Tumblr, then is it going to like show me some perfect images? What you doing over here? What? Alright, sure. I'll trust links from you. God, what? I can't believe that someone sent me a picture of a normal ass apple just now. I can't believe that there's a completely ordinary apple on my screen. Huh. So it's a bit with the teeth, huh? It's it's kind of a stone fruit now, isn't it? Kind of God, what is that at the center? Oh my stars. My goodness. A little bit of a yellow that apple. I've seen people bite completely through the the peel of a banana into the side, and by people I mean my baby brother, and so I feel like I'm not entirely, what the hell am I looking at? I feel like I'm not entirely psychologically unprepared for the bad apple, the worst apple of them all. Did this happen by accident? Did this happen simply on the front page of it? I must know the story of the, like, I want to say I wash apple. You're asking me my brother did what? I'm gonna assume, for some reason I'm assuming that you for real bit through styrofoam apple. You don't be questioning what my brother has done for nutrition. Banana peel squeaky on your teeth. I'm questioning that. We have apple to parse. And by parse, I mean, I guess, spit out and put back together. Wow, yee, yow, whoa, yikes, wow. Yeah, I probably have an image of the banana bite. Like, you could peel a banana from the top. You could peel it from the bottom. Or you could just go right into the best part, munch it like a sandwich, go in through the side. Alright, the hell am I looking at if I try to learn Into the Spider-Verse style? Which character would I want to be drawing? There's a lot of favorites. There's a lot of possible favorites in here. Okay, then what I want to be looking for is like a screenshot, like a style, but like a screenshot is what I'm looking for to truly learn. And I want to learn like mask off. There's a person. Okay, probably you have to pick a character or two in particular. Nevertheless, like you're saying, most of the nutrients are in the peel. That's why I eat my coconuts with the peel. I am deathly tired right now. Not from a lack of sleep. It just happens sometimes and I'm trying to get used to it. And so I was so sure that whatever happened in this stream, that having a little chat, getting to hang out, whatever happened would completely energize me, and so far it has. Except for that one. Taking the mental processing power to imagine you having a 1 foot jaw with like a nutcracker, and just really popping that coconut with only your teeth and jaws. That was scary. I was scared. Now I'm a little bit sleepy from getting scared, which you wouldn't think would go together, but it apparently does. Who would know? All right, I'm 40 minutes into this proclamation of trying to have deep thoughts about character design, and we're almost there. We're almost into it. We're almost about it. I'm below the nose nasty style, because is there a non-nasty style? I don't think so. You mute. Most interesting. Cool. So you're saying that's exactly how I looked. You have cameras in my house. I mean, you've just drawn so many very accurate representations of Aang or Zuko Avatar Airbender being consumed in an endless cycle of Ouroboros, that I cannot help but know that you're really an expert on these things. There's a little bit of, there's something happening over here, and okay, a full 40 minutes in here. I am so serious. I'm so completely locked in. I have a slightly less than 2 hours, what is it? Unlisted stream that I have made. What is in between Thursday and now? Okay, am I looking at this image? Oh, okay. I think... Okay, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but this character is fun to draw. I only know that they are all types of spiders. They are all types of Spider-Mans, even if you are other spiders. Okay, so the fun to draw over here. Let's have a corner or something. Nah, let's go like this. I'm having a hypothesis that a lot of the artists I look up to, they develop their art style not from doing studies necessarily, but from getting really obsessed with just one character and drawing that character ad infinitum, whatever. I don't know that I've been feeling obsession lately. I haven't been feeling very alive, and I've been trying to pin down what that means. Why do I wish to start with the ear for this? It's a good ear. It's all pointed around. I have not been feeling very alive and maybe purposeful. I feel like I say that more often than I do something about it, as if it's the kind of thing that can be corrected in a mere week or something. I don't know. Starting 100 self-portraits was supposed to help with solving that kind of thing. Supposed to unlock a sense of purpose and satisfaction, but I suppose that committing to something inevitably reveals the mundane aspects of it. And just because something has mundane aspects of it doesn't mean that finishing it, specifically finishing it, will be any less meaningful. But just because finishing it will be meaningful doesn't mean that chipping away at the mundane aspects of completing any project, I don't know, feels fulfilling along the way. Or maybe it could, and I'm just not doing it right. Mez. So she's saying, you need to pick one character to be obsessed with for the rest of your life. You can do it just once. Choose wisely. Marriage ceremony for me and the character? Is this what people mean when they talk about the character? I keep seeing posts, I keep seeing people refer to the character. There's guy saying, have you ever craved a food you've never had before? Me right now for a seafood boil. I've gotten to have one like one time, I think so. Basically, if you've had any of the seafood components in the seafood boil, you pretty much know what it's going to taste like, I think. I think mine was it was kind of spicy for me, or maybe I am just a little weakling. Um, and then, it's not a food for if you are tired because of all of the cracking open all of the little sea bugs, all of the crayfish and such that happens in the seafood boil. Oh, I might have. Wow, I should have taken a picture or something. If I did, in fact, have one of those. Okay. Trying to remember if I had one before my first kiss last year, and then that was what caused me to straight up smell garlicified before my very, very loving and understanding girlfriend. Oh my god. I don't always fully remember that, but when I do, I have a little moment where I retreat into myself and say, oh my god. And there's a guy saying, I had lobster once when I was really younger. Never had shrimp and only eat imitation crab. Never had shrimp. I don't know what life circumstances have caused me to be surrounded by shrimp despite not living in a seaside town. I'm surrounded by shrimp, a joy of my life. The parents take me to a buffet as a child. I fill up a bowl of only shrimp because it is the first time I have been allowed to do so. I don't share any of the shrimp with the table. Only shrimp for me. We're having a bit of lag or something here as I go into the sheer enormity of shrimp that I have had. Huh. You got the shrimp allergies or something? What has happened? I as a person surrounded by shrimp, I try to comprehend what could cause this life circumstance of never encountering the shrimp. You you live in a place where lobster and seafood is very popular, and you have only had it once. Huh. I want to say that probably due to the way that they are, lobster is big shrimp. That's an oversimplification, probably. But if you look at them, they look similar. So that's what I want to say instinctively. You don't know if you're allergic. Okay. Because in my head, it's maybe somebody told you were allergic a bazillion years ago. And then you have since forgotten the reason, the origin story of why you'd never shrimp around before. Alright. Well, I guess as the shrimp lover of all time, the shrimp snacker of all time, I think they're like the grapes of the sea, and that's a good thing. And then secondarily, I think the best kind of a shrimp is the jumbo shrimp, and it's all peeled and stuff. And then another contender for best kind is popcorn shrimp. Amazing things can happen. There's 60 saying, I've eaten shrimp only once in my whole life. No lobster, no crab, very little clams, but I love fish. Am I a seafood lover? Yes. No. Maybe? What are you posing for? Is there other tax benefits? Is there tax fraud? I keep smudging up the... What is this? A drawing pad today. Okay, for some reason I've started with an ear. I don't think it's good practice to start with an ear on the drawing. Okay. We want to convey the sad eyes full of responsibility, and then I want to not think about messing things up too much. Okay, so your head is like tilted downward, but that's going to. Okay, I want to be very, very delicate with my motions, very careful as I put you together. A little bit like this, a little bit like outward with the nose, but also a little bit pinched. Okay, outward like this. Okay, now I've created the wrong shape, I do believe. There's guy saying I love fish too, so I guess we both posers. I am so fascinated. What circumstance has happened to make my life full of shrimp? We go to the Costco, and they have a bag of frozen shrimp that is already peeled, and then we thaw it, and then my family begs me not to eat all of the shrimp. They say leave some shrimp for the rest of us, and then I eat all the shrimp because I have no mercy, and I have shrimp, and then I am happy. And then sometimes I leave some shrimp because sharing is loving. There's a guy saying my mom used to eat shrimp a lot, and my grandparents love fried clams, and I've had neither. This maybe I am very into the seafood because I cannot comprehend. You may ask me, what is there to not comprehend? Because it seems pretty comprehensible. But I don't know. I don't quite know. The other thing at the forefront of my mind is that somebody did not see spoilers for Undertale all the way up to this year, and so I'm watching that guy's playthrough of Undertale, which is pretty damn funny since I wish to catch up on Deltarune, and I haven't. When Undertale came out, I watched every possible playthrough that I could get my hands on. I watched every single one, and it was just a glorious phase for a while. Excellent era of my life, I should say. And I never did the same for Deltarune, and so I do not know. I do not know the ins and outs of it. I shall discover whatever the hell goes on in those. Okay, is this the shape I am going for? Okay, just start with like a rough shape and then carve other shapes into it, maybe, is what goes on here. A little bit like this, a little bit like this and this. I did not capture the essence, but I will continue. And then there's guy asking, how do the sea creatures taste? Well, I want to say that for fried clams, I haven't had very many, but if you ever get a fried chicken, and then there's the fried chicken thigh, and then like next to the spine there's like this little dark piece. There's like this part that is edible. My family calls that the special piece. It is some type of gizzard or something. It is like the fish version of that is what a clam is to me when it is not fresh, I think. Is something still up with my voice? Will more snacking on decorative chocolates solve whatever's wrong with my voice? No. I want to save those. One time, a bucket of those lasted me multiple months. Very satisfying, very excellent. There's Suki saying, I want to eat a sea cucumber because I'm vegan. And the mention of veganism makes me think that I haven't said my full thoughts on the amazing digital circus. I mean, okay, my main takeaway from last episode was that the intermission animation what was that, a full 30 seconds or a minute or whatever? That was absolutely hypnotic, and I'm glad that people are reposting it to the tune of other songs because I wish for every excuse to see it. There's, was it plot lines about people's minds being able to be changed? That fascinates me. And also, every time an episode comes out, I'm reminded of the absolute love that goes into it. Just like the self-indulgent self-indulgent cringe, self-described self-indulgent cringe of just putting one of your characters in a maid outfit. It just kind of reminds me that this show is made with so much love. Here's somebody getting to do a show, getting to do the show perhaps of her dreams, and it's perfect. Okay, this is why you don't start with the ear. Everything is misaligned all to hell. I just had the urge to do it. There's somebody saying, I haven't watched Digital Circus, don't spoil me. Hey, what in the world? I can tell that this is, I don't know. God, I can't tell when this is from. And yet, apparently, I've had the sticker sheet up on this canvas for like a really long time. I'm thinking of, I don't know, maybe stopping magma for some time. Maybe I'll be drawing on a physical paper if I will actually make an art progress. Okay, so here is that is a facial proportion when I start with an ear, but it is not proper. I actually I thought I was gonna get a professional sort of haircut, because I tried to go to like a movie or something with my family on the weekend. Okay, hopefully demonstrating this does not mess it up. I tried to go to a movie with my family on the weekend, and the entire time I was sitting there, I was like, my hair was too long, so I cut it myself. Oh dear. Well, it depends on what angle you look at it from. So anyway, it's shorter now, and let's put that back up where it belongs. And I think that the way I've been styling it, no one would even be able to tell that I've cut my hair by myself with my craft scissors. So, you're saying that was 8 months ago. The time flies, time bees, time wasp, time ants. I think that's wonderful. That should also be in character design inspiration. I don't know if any of this makes sense. In terms of character design, in terms of what's going on. Okay, so here's a live streaming sort of tab. Here's where I'm getting 1 bazillion musics from of all the video game soundtracks. I considered for a moment wondering what I could put on that would absolve me of the urge to yap. The yapping urge. Alright, let's get another outline of this same character. Because I'm hypothesizing that learning an art style is an experience experience that can be helped by copying a lot of the shows that you look up to. Get a little bit of the Loomis sort of structure, whatever, a little bit like this, a little bit like that. No, okay, a little bit like that. And there's it's like saying, Shadow, goddammit, go to a professional hairdresser. They train and are qualified for a reason. You say that as if I've maimed myself. And looking at what I did to my hair, I don't fully disagree. But looking at how well it disappears, I don't fully agree either. They're always charging money because they are doing work. But me, I commit a tragedy on my hair, and no one can charge me for that. No, the price is a different cost entirely. Okay, what vibes do I think go with this face? There's vibes, and then there's what I'm actually seeing, which may in fact be two different things. And there's guys saying date everything gameplay while eating shrimp soon. Fun game so far. I wager. I guess what's the what type of play times, hours of it have you racked up so far? I can't tell if that's a strangely invasive question or not. It's the first one out of my mouth, out of my head. All right, okay. I thought that outlining things would make this easier to comprehend, easier to align everything. Here's one space where an eye is, the second other space where an eye is. This one goes like this one goes around here, and then you have your nose, which is quite close to everything else and is kind of close to the other things, and then we're having like a nose, and then the mouth is like a little bit sad in this scene, sad mouth, because it is the movies and we must be very dramatic. And then your ear, very pointy, very alluring to try to draw first out of everything, we put right over here. Okay, yeah, the deep thoughts on character design: lie, cheat, steal, murder, arson. These are the thoughts of the Starship Enterprise. No, okay. There's okay, over 7. There's too many objects to romance. I'm on a mission. And like from what I've seen of the game so far, it seems quite difficult to, or at least challenging, or at least interesting to find all of the objects, and then if you find the objects, they participate in each other's stories. Okay, the things that I'm most curious about so far, I'm intrigued by the screenshots people are posting of the door. I wish to know why people are into the HVAC. Is it like slightly hidden, and that's what's happening, the appeal of slightly hidden characters? But they all seem like a little bit hidden. Okay, a little bit like this. I'm completely baffling myself with ear placement. This shouldn't happen. I've placed so many ears. I make so much sense. It's like dollars. And yet, ear placement is baffling me. Okay. This is kind of it. And then hairline is always something you must draw as a facial feature. it's a little bit difficult to include in things such as stick figures, so it doesn't really get into people's simplification. Alright, like this. Here's your hair headband, like this. And you have some worried eyebrows, what I want to say. Worried because it's a very dramatic scene, like that perhaps. Very nice. There's guy saying, I've been trying to find the dust bunny and the narrator is rough out here. Oh, I God, I kept seeing people's, what was it, or it was the promotional sort of videos for stuff. I thought that the promotional video like showed where the dust bunny was, and so now I can't tell if I've seen a spoiler or not, or if they've thrown it off. I'm absolutely fascinated. There's like zones, there's like areas where I would not know how to get to. Okay, so here is a secondary worried sort of eyebrow, worrying it up, something like that. And if I'm interested in like the full story of door, then you have to locate the X's or something, which is of course a key, and I'm absolutely fascinated. What does all of this mean? It's like a dating simulator, but it's also a puzzle, and then somebody tells me that there's gonna be commentary on capitalism and a big middle finger to the concept of AI taking away / replacing human creativity. Alright, what do we have here? Okay, a little bit of eyelashes or something. A lot of the time, it's tough to tell when adding funny little art details from the heart will improve or dishevel an art piece. Right, here we go, like this. What do I think an ear looks like? Have I seen one before? Do I know where it comes from, where it goes? Where do you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Okay, I think this is what a face is made of. And then there's guy saying we get a job and lose it in 2 seconds due to AI. Oh my stars. There's a guy saying I seen that video too and she's not there. I'm glad to read your message on that, because now the psychological, the urge to cry, which I would have in some kind of fragile state that I am in upon encountering that, the urge to cry is now diminished, is now something. Is it like per day? Do you have to like maybe not find the vacuum first? Is it conditional? Wow. Huh. There's 60 saying, don't worry about ear placement and stuff like that. I've seen real life people with worse facial features arrangement than a bad drawing. In any case, it's realistic, nobody's perfect. People is fucked up sometimes. This is gonna make me look at people's ears more, isn't it? Specifically in relation to the jawline, because I've noticed some of the ways that people's faces have variation. The very, very nice individual that I got to talk to in line for a roller coaster, and the line for the roller coaster was weirdly like psychological torture and or a Greek tragedy, because it was delayed due to like thunderstorms for a couple of hours, for like 2 hours, and then I happened to be at the front of the line, and then they sat me in the seat, and then thunder rumbled again, and then I got out of the seat, and then that was as close as I got to it. I psychologically, I feel like I should be okay with that, and I'm not okay with that because I never got to. I never got to see what the ride was like actually. Only butt in seat. Anyway, one of the persons operating that ride was friendly and struck up a conversation because because nobody had their phones in the entire line for 2 hours because we were in hell or something, or perhaps being punished for hubris by the gods. And I talked to somebody, a stranger person, and I started this on a conversation about how facial features can be aligned because I noticed this individual had basically no chin, basically like this much chin, half the chin that I have. And I want to say that I noticed these things due to artism, due to artistic trying to look for things and trying to take note of what things I can incorporate into the character designs and thoughts and things like that. I tried to take note of people's excellent hair and outfits too. I don't know if I did. Whoa. Oh. Whoa, okay. I'm very glad to be psychologically prepared for only getting to talk to 5 people per day, and no one can be twice. I mean, I guess they do have to find a way to limit people's... What the hell? To limit people's options to make the game actually playable. Whoa. Okay. I'm fascinated. I'm actually fascinated. I was fascinated before, but now I'm double fascinated now by the restrictions and limits of video game date everything. If you mention it enough times within one stream talking out loud, YouTube might automatically label this video as being about it. There's guys saying retractor up the dirty laundry the whole day, but only realizing I could talk to you once per day. What was the game even for? Oh, a little bit of exaggerated language on me. Oh my god. Oh, perfect. So what do you do? Do you find people complimentary to the story? Because I guess things in the same room sometimes have that going on with them. Or God, how much have I been spoiled on? I hope it can't possibly be everything if this is the amount of information that people encounter about the game at once in their playthroughs. 5 per day. Here's all of this. One thing that feels a little bit peculiar to me is that because they got so very many voice acting talent, because of that, there's a couple that I recognize too, even though I have not followed people like their voice acting careers from anime or anything. They have the dude who runs the Dungeons and Dragons games that I've watched literal hours of. They have my dude there. They have my dude that I'm like mildly parasocial about, and by mildly parasocial I mean when people are surprised that he has a kid, I look at their comments and I think to myself, oh my god, I can't believe you're not up to date on And I realize now that that's maybe a level of parasocial. Alright, so here we adjust the proportions. Hello to Nerd Burp saying E. There's guy saying it's kind of forcing you to talk to new characters. I'm just glad it doesn't go by real daytime, because if I had to wait one actual day, I'd probably tweak out. Absolutely perfect. Oh my. Hello, Nerd Burp. What's new with you today? What's happening? I mean, although sometimes nothing is new with a person, and I have to, although that's my greeting, I must accept that sometimes. The dyslexic who had said, "You have a very powerful chin and even more powerful forehead, very powerful facial features. I'm going to use my power for good. I hope all the time." This, like he's just saying, I just searched for the game in the Google. They turn into waifus and husbandos. Now I get it. Or not. It would have been better if they were actual objects. My favorite is Doug, by the way. Love him. Okay, is that one of the ones that doesn't have a full face? Doug, date everything. Ha 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 ha. There's more than one that doesn't have a full face, so I hope. Okay, I wonder if it would be strange to try to do a full playthrough where you. God, he's so muscular. A full playthrough where you don't go for fully human characters. There's so much everything. There's so very much everything in this game. It was completely intimidating, but also incredible to see memes about. Finally, a canon media where the Tumblr girlies I follow can post about their two boyfriends. You have two boyfriends and you make them kiss, and I can be like, wow, you're not just making that up this time. You are not just making that up. It's completely canon. And there's guy saying, I want to meet Doug next. I want to meet the DLC personified character, Lucinda Lavish. Money being spent. Money happening. Hey, one must live a joyful life. And, okay, they make you play a game of Sudoku in meeting, what is that? The incredibly, just absolutely shredded personification of, is that existential dread? And you play some Sudoku. Okay, it was either existential dread or, okay, no, it is that. There's Nerdbep showing up to say, I like E. Rush E, indeed. Okay, so what types of hair am I looking at? Looking at the curl around the side, but then we have a kind of a silhouette. Is happening like this and like this also. I do wonder if they took a page out of Disney and Pixar's like hair innovation for Spider-Verse also, or if different styles have different stuff going on for different art styles specifically. Okay, a little bit like this, and like this sort of, and then you have all of the dramatic features and dramatic eyes. Okay, I thought that okay, I can't start every drawing this way, but I thought this was gonna fix me. Perhaps. Picking colors can be something that fixes me. Okay, so there's Kai saying it's dread, and it's funny the way he appears. like appearance-wise, like character design, or appearance-wise as the spot in the game where it may be accessed. I think that I don't. I guess I won't consider that a spoiler. Because I was gonna say, I think I've been spoiled on where that happens, which is pretty funny indeed. But I okay, a little bit of the tiredness takes over. It is kind of funny. I also had a character about existential dread. I also had a personification about existential dread. However, although I did want to make sure this character can be like hot or something, she's still my phone background up in here. That was my version of an existential dread. Although the absolutely translucent white, that's I guess that's a common character design. What okay, trope? If two characters have now appeared and they're both glowing, corpsey, vampiric, white, then is that a trope of two things? There's talking about those. There's like what art fight beginning next month. If there were ever a motivation to finally have some character design sheets in order, then that should be a type of a motivation. However, fossils is like a cool concept as well. Okay, so this is what a mouth is made of, and here is what this is made of, and the rest of a mouth, it goes like this. There's like a philtrum or something. Every day I make some shapes. There's saying the spot and how you get him to appear is pretty funny. There's saying I can draw anything but hair. I think you need to use black magic to do it or be a transhuman. What? Look at me! Look at me! I'm okay. Maybe trying to draw 100 self-portraits has only made me. This is a bold statement to say. Has only made me better? Better at drawing my own self. Okay, let's draw some squunched eyes, but then let's have a fully detailed nose for this one. I'm feeling that, and I keep seeing this one channel drawing Homestuck art, and it's really making me consider putting a little overbite as a character design on many characters. Wow, okay. The under eye bags changes the vibe completely. Let's have this much eyebrow. Let's have the hair is a bunch of shapes. The hair is a bunch of shapes. Are you putting hands? Yeah, it's how I normally look. I just want to demonstrate the maximum easiness that hair. Why did I choose the bowl cut? I know it's right here, but why did I choose the bowl cut? The maximum easiness that hair could do. I'm trying to remember if I've seen you draw hair before. God, I've drawn a little art that looks high as hell. I'm a normal amount of high. I don't know. Okay, a little bit like this. This is what I'm saying. You should make a game where you date your mental disorders. How would become a millionaire? Oh my god. I do wonder if there's a practical, if there's at all a tasteful way to do that. Okay, a little bit like this. There's incredible meme potential. Incredible meme potential for some such like that. I want to say that if there were dramatic roots, everybody would tag their exes. Okay, sure, that's my first thought on that. There's I mean, good looking hair with lights and shadows that flow with strands and you think I have it. Okay, good looking hair that is not the awful bowl cut of all time. The good looking hair does increase some difficulty, but I believe that there is a midpoint between simplified and and complicated that is perfectly achievable. Okay, what does this do? I want to go for like erasure, kind of like that. Huh, the opacity was not all the way up. What the hell kind of eraser is this? The most important part of drawing hair, as always, is to simply have fun. And baby, I'm not doing that either, frankly. When things turn out bad in the art, I am also not having fun. But if I keep telling myself that the point is to have fun, then eventually a little bit of fun is gonna be had. I wanna believe. Just add like some shines on all of this. Add like a little bit of shines on everything you do, and then you'll become very shiny, or perhaps covered in glue. And it all makes sense. Huh. Yeah! Yeah, that's pretty much what it looked like. Okay, I do wonder, like when. Okay, I feel like I have drawn a hair before. I just want to keep believing that it's so achievable. Also, talking about the interesting and friendly chinless individual that I met, made me put less chin on this character than she has in the reference image. But then if you put more and it's very pointy, then it looks like one of those meme faces. Alright, the hell else am I looking at? Okay, the flowing, the gracefulness, the Pearl Steven universe for some reason. Why would I think of short hair characters? Oh, okay. Actually, I don't know if I've ever drawn Amethyst, because I had a really prolific Pearl phase. Okay, let's try to put some shading. Let's try to put some shading on an Amethyst. But like a fictional character, but like a Steven universe. Okay, you got some. No, okay, I have drawn her. Because I remember trying to get the shape of the hair right for one reason or another. Okay, and then it's like a lighter colored hair where you might not guess what the undertones of it would be versus with something else where you might. That's actually for the full range of color. Let's look up a cosplay. Why not? Let's look up what cosplays people have done. What are you looking like? Huh. Looking excellent, everybody. Okay. So I guess I want it to be somewhere between the cosplay and the version that I learned to draw somewhat. Huh. I'm about to overthink that for real. I'm about to overthink that for actual. And yet Is there anything bad that comes from being really thoughtful? Surely not. Surely not. Okay. Get a little bit more of that. God, there's what, like 6 days left in the month? I have been wondering how I'm gonna spend it. I'm going to a family reunion, although for me, if I'm meeting a bunch of people for the very first time, then I'm not sure how much of a reunion it's gonna be. Okay, let's get some cool poses happening. I'm gonna meet like 100 people or more. I don't know. Everyone RSVP'd to the family reunion because I guess some of them were like thinking about it and were like, on my dad's side, we've never all met up before. Okay. There's like some character references that I have in my head that I kind of want to keep in mind for this. Okay. A little bit of, I start out with just trying to draw the hair. And this is something that surely impedes the learning process when I try to draw and pose out the entire body instead of occasionally just focusing on what I want to do. And look at this, Miku. You can't tell me this hair isn't black magic, and you're talking about family reunion. What did I miss? I don't know. I just started talking about that, honestly, because I was kind of wondering what I'm going to do with the last of this month. Wow, did I accidentally click that 3 times? 5 times? Why would I accidentally click that 5 times? Huh. Let's observe Miku. This is gorgeous, and I want to say that the flair and wispiness is also in the style that I keep looking up. Who illustrated Gail Carson Levine's fairy books? David Christiania. Yeah, that one. There's some of this element is also, of the Miku hair, is also visible in this individual's art. And it's a really gorgeous way to draw hair. Okay, the first page of Google doesn't exactly show the very best of his art that I always have in mind when I think of hair that is an inspiration. I guess it's mostly visible in the way he draws fire, but then he draws like a lot of things that are like that. Look at this hair reminds me of this illustration of a bird very peacefully on fire. God, I loved those fairy books. So I don't know how the family reunion is going to be, only that I have to like wear a color-coded shirt, and I think that's how the immediate family, family in the same house as me, is going to be. And then there's enough people, and we all RSVP'd, but like cash investment style RSVP, and and between 100 or 200 people. We're going to be taking up an entire restaurant, I guess, because there are so many of us. And I am blowing my nose once more. Well, that feels slightly incorrect and quite the time for boss music to start. Asking about 200 people, I mean, it's somewhere between 100 and 200. And I mean, I guess I'll see when I get there. It's supposed to be, I like the food from this restaurant also. They have a good fried chicken. Okay, what is going on here? I do wonder if I do wonder about taking pictures or something. Okay, so here is a little bit of this, and this is what happens when you transfer somebody's actual body to cartoon character and try to find what lies between. Okay, so like this and like this, and then you're having a gemstone such as this. I did draw amethyst a couple of times. Nice. Nice. Here's the part where I learn the arts. I don't know. I'm wondering all kinds of things, not just how I'm going to spend the rest of the month. I took mostly a ginormous break from posting the little short videos that I liked to start posting, and then also I was traveling around, so that's less streaming. I don't know. I think I would have liked to be more in it. That's gonna be the end of Pride Month, not the end of Pride. You're talking about, isn't the head a bit small? Looks like a doorknob head. Yeah, maybe. I based it off of the actual person's cosplay, which of course is quite different from the sort of cartoon proportions. Alright, so we have this going on, and a little bit of the hair like this. There's Suki saying, be honest, you got sad that I didn't comment in your later shorts, so you stopped doing them. Hey, maybe you know how the inner machinations of my mind work. Maybe you know what it's like on the inside of this dark and twisted question mark mindscape. I have too much meme phrasing in my head that I will apparently say it when it doesn't make any sense. And that is from something. I'm not disturbed out here. Okay, a little bit of hair like this, like this. It's like a bunch of very large locks, I suppose. And I'm going to figure this out in a way that makes sense, but also I want to say it's probably good practice to draw larger on the canvas. Okay, a little bit like that. That's one sort of part of the shape, but also, what does hair look like as I conceive of it? A little bit like this, a little bit like this. And of course, with different artists, you've had different levels of fluffiness. A little bit of the hair goes out like this, and also like this. And so I do wonder if that's going to alter the usefulness of the first long-haired character I can think of. So many people got a cool and interesting purple wig to use to represent Amethyst. There's talk of an LGTB dance soon. It's like, on the one hand, I guess I am a little bit, maybe I'm just emotional about everything and I shouldn't trust that. A little bit put out that the month is almost over. On the other hand, much to look forward to. Dan happening, and gosh, I wish to learn from their character design as well. Maybe that's the rest of my day. 12-hour drawing session. Find out how to cramp these hands. Okay, a little bit like this. And is this... Okay, it's tough to tell what exactly this all looks like. There's so many types of wigs that people have had for Amethyst. This is really cool. And it looks like some of the cosplay that I'm looking up has been more popular than others. Also quite fun. Alright, so hair goes over you perhaps. Let's go slightly into drawing based on vibes, even if it makes you a little bit fluffier than usual. And then there's asking if Amethyst has purple hair. Isn't it gray? My god. It is quite lighter. And I do believe that you could use gray and it would totally make sense. And people would know what character you're doing. I think it's a type of gray that's made up of purple. That's my impression, honestly. Liz, you're talking about the 12-hour stream. I'm talking about, I don't think, I do not know that I am locked in. Straight up, for some reason, okay, even though I'm not saying much of anything, and perhaps the music is its own thing, its own vibe, perhaps, if it wanted to be. I mean, it's the Undertale soundtrack that I've clicked onto for that. I have this a fixed impression in my head that if I keep talking, then I am adding like value or something, and I don't know. I'll try 5 minutes or maybe 3 minutes where I'm straight up just locked in on the art. Start. I think that's a full 5. Either that or I counted wrong and it was 4. Ooh. So I can, in conclusion, I can hear my thoughts. I apparently have been talking in such a way that I cannot and do not hear my thoughts during it. That's amusing. How do you... What the hell was that? What the hell was that? You have $1 million that you need to flush down that. What the? To say that I am cracking up is of course an understatement. there's no amount of cracking that I'm not doing. There's I the funny little things that I say to myself that I think to make it better. Things such as, hey, maybe money isn't everything. Maybe money doesn't buy happiness, and this is the explanation. It is the completely reasonable explanation. Okay, instead of my instinct is to shade all of the hair in this sort of way. Let's just be copying layers. Let's just be copying layers. I'm ah, I shall consider the pros and cons of being shutted up. I don't know. I don't know what all of this is. I don't know how to be. I don't know what it all means. Right, here we have filling in all of this. Do I have that on a 0 tolerance? This is terrible. What? Yeah, that's probably it. There's guy with the you did it as saying, so when will be this now confirmed 24-hour stream? I'm gonna say just real quick right now, I'm gonna declare it's not medically possible at this time. I'm just gonna there has to be a line somewhere. This does imply that it is medically possible sometimes, but specifically not now for me. And okay, what else goes on here? A little bit of erasing, maybe, either erasing or the smoothness. I don't know. I have thought about doing like a longish sort of a stream. The longest on this channel, I believe, is Deltarune stream, and Deltarune has come back, so I've been wondering how I'm going to do that. For some reason, I want to do it in like 90-minute intervals or something, but then I feel like I would want to play the game for longer than that. So probably the first thing on my mind would be to start the stream and then stop the stream, just to like chop it up, to delineate it. And there's the asking why are you so weak, the blood curse has caused weakness within me. They're saying stream the 4 chapters in one sitting. I wasn't even sure if I'm gonna do like 3 and 4 specifically. I got 3 and 4 because I was like, woohoo, yippee, yay. Okay, I have a very specific idea of what shading is and what it do, and I'm still going to be looking up what the hell that all means. Okay, so what you want is the lightness, I suppose. Lightness that goes like this. We'll have a more graceful and intentional sort of brushstroke happening, and delineate the locks of hair. In the playthrough of the guy who is playing Undertale for the first time in 2025, and he somehow has no spoilers, every time a new song comes on, he just takes a moment to deeply appreciate, just to lean back in his chair and be like, this slaps. And you know what? I didn't even appreciate the Toby Fox songs that much when I first heard the Undertale. Probably because I was not playing a bunch of games necessarily, so I didn't know the significance of him being a composer. Okay, this goes like this: graceful, intentional, thinned out sort of shine on the hair. Okay, something is happening there. There's Kai with the ASMR stream. I will start a petition. Okay, things I'm thinking about doing. Thinking about shifting the Thursday stream back to Friday. And then that's where my 2 of the week are. Thinking about just going gamer mode for a while. Just having a completely video games streams, and then that's what I'm doing for a while. Cause I do think that although I started this with the intention to get better at art, I am far past the point where I must admit that this has not been my greatest strategy. Ooh, Metaton, fuck it up. Okay, this actually saying 100% it. The little tiny extra challenge. If you lose any battle, you restart from chapter 1. I am bad at the gamer. I only remember dying once in Deltarune. I died to Spamton. He was a goofy, silly little fuck, and he killed me in a dark alleyway. And I don't think that should be allowed. He's everywhere like a mascot. It's like if Ronald McDonald were allowed to murk my ass. Why is this allowed? I'm emotional about a lot of things. You propose things that would be my undoing. You propose things, indeed. So, with a tiny little extra challenge, if you lose any battle, you restart from chapter 1. It would be a very healthy stream. And do it in ASMR mukbang, you have to eat continuously. Sometimes the boss music appears for when something will fight me. At the time, Mad Dummy has appeared. The Dummy soundtrack has appeared because I am going to fight you. Why do you say these things? Why do you say these things? Oh yeah. I'm greatly amused, thank you. Suffering completely and greatly amused. Okay. So here is a little bit more shine happening as we calculate what is hair made of. There's oh god, I love this song. There's a saying, Spamton killed you because he knows you very well. You're one and the same species of creature. Sometimes I feel insulted at these proclamations. This one just feels true. I'm in my suit right now. And I know when it's time to be a big shot. I know when it's time to take a big shit. I know when it's time. And all of this is time. I feel that whatever hinges I was on, I am off them a little bit. I feel that whatever hinges I am on, I'm experiencing slight separation from them. Alright, let's look at what hair is made of. Oh, different things happen for different lightings. Kill me. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing where the stylized thing that I'm referencing got this type of hair shading from. There. I resemble that remark. I take offense to that remark, and I brought this upon myself. It's word association. I mean, but if I go into my screenshots right now, if I go into my screenshots right exactly now, one of my most recent is Spamton related because it just seems fitting. Spamton related screenshots because you have to preserve such things for. I start a sentence as if it can be finished with any type of coherency. I start a sentence knowing that I've backed myself into somewhere that does not emerge within the realm of sense and sanity. I I have other sentences, you know. I have other lines of thoughts. I don't have to be a big shit. And also, is he a big shot, or does he tell you that you can be a big shot? Is it what happens to the fellow, or is it what happens to people who interact with it? Wow. I am seeing a lot of really good cosplay of this Amethyst Steven universe. This is quite frankly incredible. Okay, so we'll learn from it like this, that so it is a big shot that tells you how to be a big shot. Well, that's perfect. That's actually perfect. Okay, let's get some. God, I like this song. Oh. Sometimes listening to music makes me cry. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for me to be emotional right now, even though I am more prone to emotionality, because it will become even more snotful. I'm gonna have an even more absolutely sickening experience if I have tears and crying. Alright, what else do I have here? A little bit of this. And it goes like full on strands is what I'm seeing here. Delicate and intentional. You want the thick part of the line versus the thin part of the line to be completely on purpose, I want to say. Like, on the one hand, I want to say absolutely everyone can do art. If you start to doubt yourself, shut the fuck up. If you doubt yourself, you shut up immediately. Then start to, gas yourself up, I believe is the word instead. You can do it. You can do anything. You are on top of the world. Right, here's a little bit more of this. And is that how the top of the hair ought to be? I'm not entirely sure on that part, so I guess I just won't. There's the proclamation that tears are just your eyes sweating. Wow. You know, it's been a couple of close calls, but I want to say the next time something almost makes me cry, I will just go for it. My god, we are at the 2-hour mark, and that's sort of a queue of endings. I don't know, I kind of want to see how much of the hair I can get done. How much of the hair I can get done. There's, like you're saying, I believe you. Once you cried, because I said something, like, me in the chat, I said something not even sad, and you cried for a whole 5 minutes. I remember that. Luckily, I was the only one present. Yes. Yes. The footage is up and exists. Sometimes I'm big emotional. What are you saying? 3-hour mark soon. The mark is from Invincible. That's the only mark I know of. A little bit of mute for the nose. Nice. Nice. Absolutely tectonic things happening to my sinuses. I cannot wait to be not sick anymore. I wish for these things to... God, what am I looking at? For these things to only last for, I don't know, what is it, 1 week? And yet, my lame-ass, wimpy immune system... No, I love you, immune system, I bless you. As, I don't know, full of disappointments, at least timing-wise. On the whole, it's doing pretty good, honestly. I'm getting better, getting more well, but, still, wow. More snot than I would like. Okay, so like this, and like this. I wanna believe that hair is made of... I was absolutely fascinated with trying to get hair to work for a while, so in art, so I want to say that I know what it's made of. That doesn't mean that I know what it's made of. I might be operating from a place of sheer hubris, and it's tough to tell. Alright, so a little bit like this. The other thing on my mind, other than Steven Universe and the Amazing Digital Circus, is just straight up, as always, Breaking Bad, as I very slowly make my way through what is supposed to be one of the best shows of all time. I say supposed to be, but also I do see it pretty much is. Alright, and what do I shade over here or not over here? A little bit like this. I use a photo reference, but also I use a stylization reference. The incredible meth cook of hubris is on my mind from Breaking Bad, Mr. Heisenberg himself. Okay, that's what stylization says should happen, but I don't quite know. Damn. Why are you rounding up to 5 hours? Literally 2 hours doesn't round up to 5 hours, but 3 hours does. So, I have to make sure that I can't round up here? There's actually saying hair's so weird. It used to be scales, which used to be teeth or something like that. I'm not an expert in evolution by any means. I actually know nothing about it. You sounded so confident at the beginning of that sentence. I went into reading that sentence at here's evolutionary expert. YouTube uses it. Here's the evolutionary, the legendary. And you let me down over here. What's up? What's even up? Alright, so here is this. I'm almost okay. I am finding the urge to explain the crying occurrence. What was that like? Was that like in a December or November or something? Something like that. I was thinking of inevitable endings of streams. Like on the one hand, I don't know. I can't conceive of anybody. I can't conceive of this not ending somehow, and yet it apparently straight up makes me cry if I think about it in the wrong way. Just regular endings that are, I don't know, healthy and good. Okay, a little bit of shading goes on here. We might actually go darker. That's something that I have to incorporate more, I want to say, into hair shading, even darker shadows. Because although you can do the gradient from thing to thing, although you can do that and it's fine and it's good, I had a problem with not making the shadows dark enough. Is it in between this and that, I wonder? You ask if I finished Breaking Bad. I'm about to finish season 4. I have been spoiled on some things that happen. The character that I really like, Giancarlo Esposito's character, he is Gus Fring. I really like. He is such a cool villain. He is like if Walter White was not the biggest idiot to ever walk the planet, and I have to not say that around around my dad, who liked the show before I did, because like the fantasy of quitting your job and you just go and something wild happens and make a bunch of money a different way. The fantasy of quitting your job can be very important. And so I'm, even though Walter White is the stupidest bastard to ever walk the planet, I it's polite to my dad, who I love very much, not to declare that with every ounce of volume in my lungs, because it was the emotional support meth cook. He was the emotional support meth cook for a while, is the impression that I get. I don't know. Maybe it would go there. And then there's Kai saying, Sharo would miss us all. Yes, I would. Very much so. I... Don't get me. I'll cry on it. There's you saying, what would we do without a bi-weekly dose of Sharo? And then there's... And you're saying Heisenberger is an idiot. I agree. I'm just about to get to the season 4 finale. The last things I've seen were very dramatic indeed as we enter this part before this season 4 finale. And the death of Ted Beneke was like really funny to me. He just slipped on a rug. Like the entire time as things were escalating with him, I kept thinking that it would be really convenient, like if you're already a mob boss, it's really convenient if you just get him, if you just off him. But like if you've got a history with a person, then obviously you're not gonna do that. And then it just happens. God, that's hilarious. That's deeply, completely, utterly hilarious. Alright. I laughed for a solid minute. There's talking about Heisenberg is an idiot. I agree the way he treats our baby boy Jesse. The way you are talking about this, I cannot tell if you have actually seen it or if you are ad-libbing based on the memes. I cannot tell. But also yes, true, completely 100% true, yes. I'm still emotional about the part where he accidentally calls his son by Jesse's name, and it's like, oh my god, they are parallels. And you have like a weird, twisted, alternate meth family, and you're treating him very bad. Shame on you, Walter White. Okay, so more of this is happening as I try to figure out shading. Shading can happen. And so like it feels more correct. It feels like I'm getting a little bit more correct out here. And I feel so far away at the same time. Okay, so we're gonna want even strandier little bits. A little bit like this and this. And just hit them with some true highlighting action, I wanna say. Real upbeat music for that. And yet that one, maybe it's unfinishedness of it, but maybe it seems overdone. Or maybe you'll lose out on some I don't know, some aspect of hair and learning how to do it and what it's made of, maybe you lose out on some of that because of practicing it outside of the context. And if you just put it on a face and in some lighting, then it would look perfectly fine. And then there's... Okay, wait, you have seen Breaking Bad a couple of times. Like a couple of episodes, or like it's rewatch worthy? Because it does seem rewatch worthy. I'm excited to get to the end, even with spoilers. That's one of the places that I traveled on this entire month that I am away. This entire month that I am away and gone from streaming. God, where am I? Please, may I see images? May I see images that I have taken? No, not the 1 million images of storage. Yeah, I got to see the museum. Oh. Okay, well, I guess I have pictures of the museum, and then my dad has pictures. Oh no, there it is. Yeah. Okay. I took the cheesy cheesy photos of the cheesy tourist photos, and then there's a cardboard cutout of Gus Fring. Gus Fring, who is like if Walter White was not the biggest idiot to ever exist. Yeah, okay. Well, I thought I was going to get the right amount of focus at once, but I guess the gist is there. God, what else was in this cool museum? They had a little model of two planes crashing together. They had cardboard cutouts of all the toughest characters to be next to. Still have a little bit of the rock candy. The rock candy that is modeled after their drugs is way overpriced. There's I need that. Here, let's upload a little vacation photos. Why not? We're up in here. We're doing this. And okay. How do I... I'm overthinking the sharing of it. So I create a copy. Because I do wonder if the metadata, as always, has my entire social security number and everything that has ever happened. Wow, one of these has a shoe reveal in it. I am finding these cool things. And then my dad had been on a Breaking Bad tour that would run sometimes, and so he drove us past the house that it was filmed at, which naturally has a big gate, and then past the laundry facility that it was also filmed at, and then past the restaurant where somebody was stabbed or something, and then into the other restaurant that gets blown up or something. And so naturally, having seen that, when there's only when I was only partway through season 2, I got naturally a bunch of spoilers, but I don't know, it's still very cool, still very awesome. For some reason, there's a lot of Catholic versions of the characters as saints in the gift shop, and this amuses me, so I will also send that. There's so lucky in a million. If you take any road trip, then yeah, I guess if you're on the west coast of the country, then this is a fun sort of stop. Albuquerque in general, if you watched that show, I guess this is a massive, everything. Okay. Wow, apparently all my most recent images are 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 of sad wet cat. Sad wet cats as I convey how sick I have been. So there's all the vacation photos. I guess I got one in a cardboard cutout. In the because they have it feels weird. It feels weird to visit them because it's a normal restaurant. And so it is kind of weird, but they're also very much used to it. The what is it, pollos hermanos things, there's something saying it's very probable that I don't live in the same country as you remember. It's probable. I don't know if I'll say very probable because YouTube gives the entire exact demographic, not of individual people. You cannot click on somebody and see their demographics. But the demographics breakdown that I get on YouTube in the Creator Studio options is creepily detailed, and I was, I don't know, really alarmed when I saw it for the first time. So likely, I know likelihoods. I do know likelihoods, but but I must remember the various likelihoods that exist. Alright, here is what a little bit more shading on the hairs looks like. Wipe this away. I suppose that I am going to the 2.5 hours mark. How lovely, how cheery indeed. Is this what hair looks like? I think you need more contrast. This goes a little bit lighter, but we go a little bit darker to make up for it. And I'm actually losing it over the intense cheesiness of visiting the tourist trap. I can't keep that up on my phone screen and have my thoughts fully intact. I simply cannot. Alright, so I want to know what the top of somebody's head looks like. I think that this has bothered me for a while, not really knowing what the top of a head is. Like, artistically, what are the choices that we make there? From the look of it, you could keep things simple. Okay. So, I'm going to avasdemon.com, looking at the art tutorials section of that. And I guess it looks like the recommendation is to start up the shading in the other direction. Okay, is this the one that I've erased most of? I just said I can't keep the tourist trap photos up on the screen and have like coherent thoughts at the same time. What? I don't even think it was that tall. Was it that tall? God, what height am I? Okay. Okay. It goes like this when there's hair, and I'm using the eraser to convey what is happening. And there's got to be directionality. It's going to be described in 3D space. A little bit like this, a little bit like that. Maybe that is what hair is made of. Just various shiny bits. Okay, I kind of see it the more I go on. Maybe that's what it all is. Just being like, I kind of see it until you actually do see it. What? Okay, wait, you were saying, Shadow, didn't you know you did that in your free time? New crime added to the list. New crime of what? New crime of what? I have now lost track of absolutely everything. Am I being framed for cooking the actual literal meths? I could never do such a thing. I could never. Oh my stars. What crimes are being on this list, and did I hyperbole them so that they're even worse than they initially were? My goodness, pepper steak is here. Gotta love a good old song of a pepper steak. Woo. Okay, so this goes like this. We keep on keeping it super intentional. And we're gonna find that it looks like hair eventually. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of convincing to me. They never do these details. Ah! Okay. Fast food employee is the most natural look over here. The drug dealer is the crime. Cook is also the crime. I feel like, okay, dealing, I love the cute art 1,000,000 times over. Dealing is completely a different crime than cooking it up. And look at where you're cooking. I'm ready for customer service duties. Oh my god. Okay, I want to form a coherent thought, and I am doing none of that. I am doing absolutely none of that, because I've committed to this longer stream for the express, holy, sacred purpose of figuring out what hair looks like, because I think I do know. I think I know, and yet it's a little bit tough to prove whether I do know. Just go like this a little bit more, and yeah, okay, maybe not that. Maybe not that. Or maybe you commit to that even more. God, I hope I'm on the right layer, because I really do want to know what hair is like before I end this stream, which I shall surely do at a perfectly reasonable time, whatever time that may be. So, okay, yeah, okay, I'm feeling that. Hair is made of that. The darkness, the lightness, the talk break wherein you become accused of cooking just a little bit of meth. Alright. Okay, on all of that, it just does not seem good. It's like just saying, imagine having to talk to hundreds of people a day about their food orders, about their complaints and said food orders. Dream job, isn't it? I don't doubt that with a really positive attitude, a person can find true joys in that human experience. I also don't doubt that one person and or dangerous experience could really alter your will to go on within all of that. Okay, so here is more of this. Your internet is dying right now. I'm honestly so locked into the hair that I considered being here for 3 hours just for the hell of it. Y'all got stuff to do, probably, and your internet knows it. Thus the cutting out. I fully, I don't know, I consider being here for 3 hours because I want to know. I want to know hair. I want to know what I can do hair. Okay, so not right there. Maybe right here. the shading, the light and the darkness. I look at the tutorial, I consider what happens here. Switch between light and dark and actual photo. Actual photo suggests that you should only put these very darkest bits quite on the inside, and when you're very sure of it, and on the first Tuesday in May, when you're very sure of it. Okay, so here we go with this. There's Kai proclaiming you do not. Crack me up here, why don't you? What can I say? What can I say, twinsies? It's a real verb. What are we gonna do today? Kind of a situation over here. I used to, in the course of planning my day, for like 2 or 3 years, had a so-called accountability partner where it would be like, what are we doing today? And then we didn't do any of that shit that we said we were gonna do, and so it, I don't know, I feel like sometimes it almost worked. In any case, that lovely individual is like, planning a wedding. Congratulations. But marrying someone from Ohio? Well, I hope that goes well. I mean, you've started out British. There's like a little bit more healthcare than, the internet removes, so YouTube is just like away from us. You start out with the healthcare, so you would think that you would not revert to being an Ohioan. But, nevertheless, they seem very, very happy indeed. I'm quite happy for them. Alright, so here is this. Is that shading? Is that shading? I think that I'm probably always having the problem with hair that I have with drawing that ear first. I think it's probably one and the same. The YouTube is essentially proclaiming, you know nothing about me. I have nothing to do ever. I sold a web domain 20 years ago and became a multimillionaire. Oh my. Do I speak with the ghost of you? Oh my goodness, you have appeared here. In full interneted glory. Okay. Maybe I know nothing about you indeed. Maybe I really don't know nothing about you. Oh my. And I feel like I had the end of a sentence and I was committed to the end of a sentence about being happy for my productivity buddy. A friend of the specifically productivity variety. Being happy for that individual. Okay, so go like this maybe. Oh, okay. Remembered the rest of my thought. I am having the same problem as drawing the ear first because I should map out where the anatomy of this thing goes. And by anatomy, I mean where all of the darkest shadows go. Where all of those go first. And also, I do wonder if I should have like more variety or less variety as well. There's saying that your internet is acting on you, such a drama queen. With my internet connection, you can know where I live. Not a first world country for sure. Oh my. I do wonder what sort of time zones might align us, such that we are met up enough, such that such a thing is possible. Sorry to have 1 million guesses, by the way. You know, I've talked to somebody who has like some classified stuff in their job, and I never thought about how very much I never thought about what it has to be like in that position. Apparently, instead of yes or no, which is a normal way that a conversation goes, instead of yes or no, they have to say no comment. This is so funny to me because I never thought about how much of a non-conversation element no comment is until it happened to me. And it wasn't, it's like a cutoff, but it also does not feel aggressive because it has to be that way. This is funny as hell to me. Funny as hell to me. I'm still not over it. All right, a little bit of this, and okay, maybe the middle. Maybe I don't want it to be in the middle. You're talking about that it's 6 a.m. in some part of the world where I don't live. Okay, if you say so. Not that I was trying nor even succeeding in geolocating you, perhaps. Not that I was, but it's good to know or not know. Okay, is this hair? Is this hair? Okay, what I'm thinking is that I have to not break it up so much. I think that although the strands make sense, you can't strand everything. You can't make all of this into glorious, luscious locks of hair. Let's really stare at this. Try to figure out what goes on here. Okay. Sure, we're wanting wider and greater swaths of light to figure out what hair is made of. Not that light is particularly known for coming in swaths. Okay, is the more intentional about the shape, but is this what hair is made of in terms of all of this? Maybe. Straight up, maybe. I think I started this by saying that hair is so doable. Go on and do it right now. Look, you can do some hair right now. I think I started with something like that, and that was when drawing the terrifying bowl cut. And now we're here. And I have so many questions about what I am and where I'm going and what does all of this mean. We'll get another layer on here. Lucky number 13. You're saying there, the drawing looks beautiful so far. You really have learned the black magic spells of artistry. I guess all I can do is recommend to go to avasdemon.com and click on the tutorials section, tutorials and process. It looks like a little eraser, and all that's there really is this progressive step-by-step thing. I mean, there's other very good art tips there too, but I'm always, of course, ogling the hair. There's this step-by-step process thing, and I'm looking at what's there. Okay, there's a lot more there than I am managing to do naturally, completely, of course. But, I guess you just track what shapes the shadows and highlights are, and then also compare that to a photo, and then go back to tracking what they are. I want to continually believe that hair is, and everything about art is very achievable, very doable, very learnable for everyone. I will not stop believing. I will never stop believing. Alright, here goes this, I think. Because although you have like a core shadow, you have like a bounce light, there's Kai saying, live so long I just received another commission back. Oh my god. Okay. How's it going? What's it doing? How's it looking? For a second I interpreted that as they've actually actively finished it in the time that have been actively streaming. I know that's not necessarily how it works, but that was in my head for a moment. All right, the hell am I looking at as I figure out all of this? I think I did want to do a little bit of an outline. The highlights are not where I want them to be, but it's still interesting and cool, in my opinion. Okay, I feel like an outline, so we do an outline. Feel like one, so we do one. Normally the outline, God, does it normally go first or later? I've seen some people do it first and foremost. Keep on going like this, and wonder about the virtues of quietness as well. There's the YouTube business acting with the share the commission, share the paid art, the oh my goodness indeed. What is good in the neighborhood? Okay, here is some outline happening, and I do like the contrast that an outline brings. Although I also wonder if that's a sign that I didn't do, I don't know, a proper amount of contrast in attempting to shade all of this itself. Okay, and then I always like pointy hairs, so even if amethyst is in fact quite rounded, we shall make some very pointy points. Go just like, okay. I love the digital artist struggle of hitting Control Z several times all in a row. I truly adore it. Nothing makes my hand not cramp as much as hitting the same line several times over. Okay, go like that. Go like that. Sure, I'm feeling educated. I'm feeling educated now about all of this artistic stuff which I am trying. So although I don't know if the original purpose of these streams, which was to learn some art, to improve at some art, I don't know how that can go, how I want to incorporate that going further, because I feel as though things must change in some ways, but also doing this right now is sort of encouraging me, very much so, encouraging me that although I'm mostly unfocused in all of this, as I have been for a very long time, maybe I can still learn the arts in this format. Wow, my goodness, hello to you, Leviathan. What time of day or night is it indeed? Hello to you. Are you, how are you? There's this is saying, I like that style of hair drawing where it's like blocky. You can see the geometrical shapes of 3D volume. Not trendy hair at Craze, but a beautiful style nevertheless. This is wholesome uses. My goodness, Leviathan, you have appeared right as wholesomeness has been shared. Logarithm, indeed. What? Okay, goes on here. Is this the very darkest of hair? I am kind of wondering about core shadows, I suppose, because some things go like this. I guess I am a fan of things looking geometric. Okay, I feel more confident about what's happening in this bang section and top of the head, and I feel less confident about this. Oh, Leviathan, you've come with a message. Well, I'm eager to hear any such messages. I hope you are well out there in the world. I hope you're not straight up sicking it with what's going on. with everyone I know recently. I I thought my little brother was sick also, but he was just having like a dry throat for other reasons. You've come with a message. That was the message. The message of perhaps a little a little bit silent for a second. I mean, I am attempting to learn the virtues of silence. Well, thank you very much for sharing the message, Leviathan. My goodness. Oh. This? Is this what hair is? Is this what it looks like? There's, and you're talking about the paid art has been shared. Oh, I wish to witness, I wish to see what is commissioned indeed. Oh my god, there you go. Oh my god, there you go. You say a live stream reaction to Peak. There is a pattern. Yes, I'm into One Piece. Everyone follow as Far Blues on Twitter. Artisanal. I was that at the beginning of the stream? You were saying, wait, were you saying that you were getting into self-ship? I'm declaring it so legal. I'm declaring Peak. Oh my gosh. What is this? Oh, because I'm only like mildly aware of One Piece, like in the having watched part of the live action and aware of what it is in the the anime community. Because of that, I was like, whoa. So I know Luffy is like stretchy main character. Does other main character have a Gordian knot elbow? But no, that was like hands interacting with it. I thought something was happening in the elbow. Okay, so you're saying that bike is short for Baiko. I'm saying that there's some art going on here, artisanal. As some would say, you get your money worth. Oh my god. There's there's appreciations of the second music channel is what I'm going on here. Okay, so whatever else was in my head, I am not sure what else was in my head other than you're probably the reason that I am thinking of commissioning artists. If the thought enters through my head, then I would probably go down your list of artists that you have commissioned in order to find one. Oh my gosh. The taste impeccable. The One Piece characters implacable. Oh my gosh. So I'm past the 2.5 hour mark, literally appearing at near the 3 hour mark. I'm figuring out what hair is made of, and I do not know if I am succeeding at figuring out what hair is made of. Confident up top, not so confident on the bottom. There's Leviathan saying, just 10 minutes ago, I watched a video of a man crashing out over his curtains. Oh, just the curtains? Nothing else in life, just the curtains? It must have been some significant curtains in order to crash out over the curtains and nothing else in one's life. Because there's surely a lot to crash out over. I'm fascinated. There's somebody saying the drawing makes me want to be a part of the ship, like be adopted by so beautiful. There's guys say I have so many artists bookmarked on Twitter. I love supporting artists. Oh my gosh. And the character's ace from One Piece. He's doomed by the narrative, and that's just my luck. You have to have your alternate universes. You have to try to undo. You're adopting utopias or something. I wish to see. Is it the guy who crashes out in his car all of the time? Okay, Nico evaluates curtains. So we're probably not in the car. You're gonna evaluate them for serious. It's 1 minute. It's 1 minute. I shall see. And you keep imagining that hair on Walter White. It's because the beard is exactly the same. I want to know. Why?
Kind of pattern on any curtain is a problem.
Oh, what, you don't love the 70s? Okay. You like patterned ceilings. Okay, like if I think about that's what they've taken from us, then yeah, I would be in grief. Oh, okay. Let it out, King. Let it out. Why you hate this? What, you're in the hotel? You being the hater? Hotline Miami is seriously ramping up in my ear. I turn this down so I can hear what can happen when you're having curtains emotions. Let me know. I mean, we're still keeping a little bit of the Hotline Miami for curtains emotions, but I want to know. Having, I mean, it could be face. I'm gonna say mildly ionic. I'm gonna say mildly plant-like. Well, don't you love to find amazing patterns in things? I would guess the answer is no. Okay. You're gonna judge a man? You're gonna judge a man for having his teeth? No, come on. Look, just because you didn't want to see him. Whoa. Look, I believe this is what we call failing the Rorschach test. You know, the ink blot test where they ask you they show you some ink blots and they ask what's wrong with your father and what's wrong with you, and the Rorschach test, and then you tell them. I believe that you've just sort of encountered one spontaneously in the wild, Nico evaluates. I believe you have encountered one in the wild, and I believe that you've gotten full on zero. No, no. What's also in the realm of possible? I feel like you've gotten a 60% on the test. Is more than 50%, but we're not passing these for sure. I feel like ideally after the Rorschach test, because they put this into psychology classes, after you experience it, you're supposed to like work through some things and then be happy. And you don't sound happy. You sound, and maybe this is just my incredible telepathy empathy, you sound livid because you said that you were livid, and so I'm picking up on notes of lividity, and I just think that having a good grade on the Rorschach test, it means that you are so psychologically secure afterwards. So I think maybe a second round with the curtains. Maybe just sort of envision yourself being inside the curtain or something like that. I feel like there's much to work on. So this is why I've been saying, well, this video, yawning so cold. And saying, in fact, this is my favorite YouTuber. He makes Mega Man content. Find some gems out here, huh? Well, sometimes YouTube alerts somebody when their content has been used in somebody else's content, so there's a chance that we may say hi to Nico right about now. Depends on if you would watch this far or not. But I guess always say hi, always like and subscribe. I mean, I'm not into the Mega Man, so I won't subscribe, but always like and watch time, I guess. Thank you for sharing this. I love seeing the corners of YouTube that are not my usual corner of YouTube. I love adventuring around and really seeing what's going on in there. What goes on in hair, shade some hair. No, okay. I don't think that I'm going to be able to make this a perfect masterpiece of hair like I'm envisioning. before this stream is over, although I did keep extending it for a second there, for several minutes there, in fact. I don't think I'll be able to make this a perfect masterpiece, but it's looking pretty neat. Looking pretty neat. I feel like I could comprehend some hair out here almost. There's Kai declaring LGBT, saying he rarely ever posts anymore. He says he's lost almost all motivation for YouTube, so I don't think it'll be a problem. My oh my. My. Then I hope that the appreciation of the random video is felt right in the heart or something. Some cheesy thing like that. I have hopes for these things. What goes on? Have you Interesting things are happening up in here. My goodness. I've drawn some anime ass hair, haven't I? I'm just now aware of that, of having drawn some anime ass hair. I do wonder about YouTubers and losing motivation for YouTube, cause like it's the meta has changed. When I started this channel, all the types of channel that I thought I was going to be, I don't know, trends have changed and ways of traffic have changed. This one channel that I look up to, what is it, Sarah Tepes, in terms of art, has a recent video that's like, I'm struggling, and then videos from my watch later get suggested to me, and one of them was like, I've been on YouTube for 10 years, here's what I've learned, but I put that video in my watch later 5 years ago, and I click on the channel, and after, I guess 15 years, I haven't uploaded for a couple of months, because I mean, what can you do? I grew up being told that the internet is forever, and in some ways it very much is, but in other ways it's much less forever than you would think. And I don't know, the sudden impermanence of all of these internet things is... It makes me ask questions. Where do I go from here? If the people that I look up to are also struggling and quitting and getting second job, do I how much do I try to get out what has been in my head in terms of YouTube, you know? That type of thing. I don't know how much sense that makes. As YouTube statistics says, I've taken the Rorschach test 2 times, and well, excuse me, therapist, for being an artist and having advanced pattern recognition. It's not my fault all images are phallic or hypersexual. You know it. You know it. You know that's through history as well. Those things are also phallic and hypersexual. Well, hello to you, Hijinks Arcade. Yeah, I think I'm probably winding it up at the 3-hour mark, so in 3 minutes. I've been trying to draw an amethyst here, but hello. I hope your day's like going okay. Hope it's going all right. We've drawn a little itty bitty amethyst in here. Do I want to draw this on a certain layer? Yeah, this one. And there's asking, what will you do for 20k sub special? Right, where I guess where it's happening, it's coming up. I guess not to be too confident, not to count chickens before they hatch, but I do predict that it's just a couple more of those, what is it, sticky note videos, and then we'll be at the 20k. I mean, weirdly, I had a special for 1,000 that I never published, which feels even weirder at this point because now I'm an entirely different person than I was. Let's have a very round eye up in here as we approach the hour mark. And there's ASMR security number reveal, please. I very recently took a picture of my driver's license, and so it's like on my camera reel, so there is a non-zero chance if I like glitch out while I'm like doing my holds the phone up to the screen thing, there's a non-zero chance that it happens. There's Leviathan saying, eat the Declaration of Independence for 20k. Not the Declaration of Independence for any country, just the Declaration of Independence. Oh, wait. Well, does that mean no one can declare independence again? Or maybe they have to take it up with my digestive tract if they wish to declare independence. Okay, let's have a shiny-eyed amethyst up in here. Let's have a little bit of this. Wow, I am so absorbed in the drawing amethyst. I can feel it right now. It's not going to be fully exact 3-hour mark, but it is going to be kind of close. Okay, so amethyst, what's your mouth like? There's Hijinks Arcade saying, just wondering, but did you end up watching all of the first Pat Labor movie? And if so, what did you think? I actually didn't end up watching all of it because, well, partially because my brother had put it on for the family, like, and then I got downstairs and it had already been going there. So all of my impression of it is cozy vibes, and then because I had to like chop shrimp. This has been a very shrimp themed stream. Because I had to chop shrimp while doing it, while being in the same room, I just have the vague impression of a very epic final battle, and also unsureness of whether the third one should be watched. Okay, this is looking amethysty, sort of. Get your little nose over here. Absolute creature over here. So yeah, it does seem the vibes, the world of just being some co-workers, and also you go to work in a Mac. That's the impeccable vibe of it. Absolutely, as you know, as you're well aware, absolutely begs a proper watch where I am not helping prepare the shrimp and thus shrimped up. But indeed, he's saying, from time to time I find myself wondering about what is the longest humanly possible fart. Would it reach a full hour? Ew. At some point it stops being a fart, I would say. At the 1 hour mark, like, first of all, I don't think, okay, fine, I do think it could reach an hour. No, okay, not for one, okay, not to seriously think about this too much. Okay, at a certain point, it's not a fart anymore. You're just sharing atmosphere, and it's strange and bad. You're saying, I mean, with the right methods, it could be theoretically possible to achieve a perpetual continuous one. But it has a beginning and an end. It has a beginning and an end. I don't think you can go continuous in the slightest. I'm a doubter. Maybe even a hater. A doubter and a hater. Alright, here's the most detailed drawing that I've done here in quite a while. We've got some outlines going on here. You're saying things are shrimply epic. Yes, not a fart, that's a biohazard. One might say yes. One might say absolutely yes. Completely yes. Okay, a little bit of this happening, and I think Arcade saying Pat Labor is generally cozy vibes. Yeah, there's more of a big thing happening in the movie involving a virus, some dead guy left behind that causes machines to malfunction or something, and there seemed to be like the dead guy had a religious motif or something, but specifically in that Japanese way. Specifically, they're doing the Japanese interpretation of the verses and hymns and things. Alright, what's the very last detail I wish to put in here on this quite longer than usual stream? Probably just that the last thing on my mind is that I have an unlisted stream of just reading my textbook out loud, thinking of putting that into a playlist. I mean, I say just reading my textbook out loud, but I also dunk on the philosophers a little bit. So I don't know if that holds any appeal beyond the fact that it is just literally a philosophy textbook. But I don't know, maybe it can be available just for the hell of it. And then there's guy saying when you lock in into a long stream, this is the result. It's more locked in than usual, but also, okay, let's call this winding down. We've seen the tourist photos, we've seen bowl cut and anime, and we shall now go on back. I was just using this as a drawing program the other day. We are totally bootied up because I'm trying to find the awesome poses. But I got this far on a drawing because I wish to have this original character that I've been thinking about for a long time in some kind of state that I could show people in like a reference sheet, really proper. But I was so I know that good artwork has even more I don't know, time put into it than a sketch. I think this one was an hour or something. Even more time put into it, but it's still discouraging to when I feel like, okay, I have to stop drawing right now, and then I still feel like dissatisfied with how it has ended up. I guess what I'm saying is I wish I could end up satisfied with more drawings when I set down the pencil, when I set down the pen, and like doing I folded one accidentally. Doing the simplified drawings, doing the simplified drawings has enough limitations that I can end the drawing and then be happy with it. But I don't know, the moment I start adding color, I don't know, it starts getting more complicated, that I'm like, maybe I never knew what I was doing after all. There's Hijinks Arcade talking about the this is a great movie though, and the final battle is indeed incredible. Coming back to join the team, business or pleasure or combat. That's some lines of all time. And it's like they say, holy fuck, I'm watching it. 144 people. That fucks so hard. I'm expecting triplets. Pardon my German. It's hilarious. It's hilarious to call that German. For some reason, my impression that the term "pardon my French" comes about because English speakers perceive French as being like a dirtier language, and so and so when they've said a swear, they say "pardon my French." And that's the logic behind that. Pardon my German, to me, implies full severity. Here's a severe word. Here's an efficient and business-like word, because it's here to deliver the full amount of meaning. I don't know. There's. As you're saying, Noah's super iconic and endearing, and you're saying the visuals and animation are incredible, and the movies are especially gorgeous, directed by Mamoru Oishi. Someone else joined at this very last second. Before I get out of here. What the hell could happen? What in the hell could happen? I mean, you're just sort of fidgeting about here. Why does this let me view your gallery? I've never actually clicked this. Before. Wow, I didn't know that Magma had followers. That's pretty neat. I didn't know you can click people's profiles. Well, I meant to be ending this stream at like the 3-ish hour mark. I don't know. 3 minutes and whatever is basically the same to me. I am curious, who has found this? Because I do not be recognizing people, so I guess I type hi, such as that. Alright, well, I'm probably not gonna stick around to figure out much of what is up. You drawing an egg? Alright, that's pretty nice. Oh, well, I mean, I guess that's a very quick pronouncement to make when somebody has only made a yellowish sort of a circle. I have the urge to draw a little bit of a hat on it. Then I indeed shall be out of here. Little bit of a hat. Everyone gets hatted upon. Very nicely. And then there's the talk of the favorite anime, and now we have seen everything, and I am very perturbed indeed about about what can, I don't know, what can be here. Does this show me anything about what my original characters, I don't know, sheets and whatnot will look like if I can find satisfaction in the simplified drawings and not in the colorful and complex ones? Much to think about as I see as I see some cool art start to happen over here. Alright, I shall indeed give my voice a rest for a minute though. Thanks for being around. Thanks for saying hi. And my very, I don't know, hunched over fancy blazer. Let's get out of here. And I shall see you next time for... I genuinely cannot decide if I'm going to like replace Thursday streams with Friday streams and also only do gaming. That seems like a big sort of shift. I don't know. I guess I'll like write something before I do it. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day. There's lady saying you didn't get a notification. I followed you in my my goodness, for reals. Most incredible. Does it happen if I'm refreshing? They should give me notifications about it. My goodness, I'm feeling very popular. Followers on my gama. And is a moth happening? My goodness. Have I interpreted it as a moth? Alright.